Now, Sapphire Foods is the next company we are speaking with. For the second quarter, the company saw double-digit revenue and EBITDA growth. But this growth, the rate of growth is slower than what we've seen in the first quarter. Their profit is also impacted by lower tax expenses, which was in the base. Sanjay Purohit is whole-time director and Group Chief Executive Officer of the company. He's joining us right now to take some questions. Sanjay, good morning. Great to have you with us here as always. Appreciate your time. We were just discussing how this is the time for your kind of businesses. So but let's just we'll get to how you're doing now and what are you seeing out there. But I want to start with what's ailing pizza sales. Pizza Hut same-store sales growth languishing, margins looking very tough. Is it a phase really? I think I asked you the last time around as well. Is it affordability which is an issue, because burgers are doing just fine? Go on.
So on the balance, out of the three businesses that we run, one is doing really well, one is starting to come back, and Pizza Hut, we've seen an issue. Perhaps the last 4 quarters has been tough. So 3 points. One is undoubtedly the QSR market. There is a little impact of consumer demand headwinds, and you can see that in the results of virtually everyone else. So that's one. Number 2, this category has seen a little greater amount of competitive intensity, especially with a couple of players opening stores left, right, and center. So there's been a little bit of unadulterated expansion. So that is 2. Third is perhaps, and I don't want to give this as an excuse, that we are comping a very high SSSG last year. So we grew at 23% last year. And therefore, if you look at it from a 2-year perspective, we are about 1.5 to 2%, which is actually in line with many of the other pizza players. So we think it is a temporary phase. Even the expansion that has happened in the market with other players, all of this will sort of come to roost in the next 12, 18 months. We continue to focus on 4 things. One is, how do we build brand salience? How do we deliver a strong dine-in experience, build home service, and then we are going to recalibrate our restaurant expansion.
Okay. Sanjay, hi, good morning. You've been through this several times in the past, but it is quite a lethal combination, right? On one hand, strong competition, and on the other hand, a slowdown in overall consumption. Can you tell us, what does this do to your top line? Because so far, at least until this quarter, you've managed to do double-digit growth, about 15% growth on the top line. Do you reckon that in this journey of next 12 to 18 months, before things improve completely, you may even get to, single-digit growth or low teens in terms of growth? I mean, is that something that you are forecasting?
So when you look at the KFC performance, Sonia, that perhaps gives you an idea of how this could play out. KFC, strong brand, undoubtedly leader in its category. We have seen flat SSSG, but on the back of expansion, we have seen 19% growth. In the first half, 20% growth. And 20% growth, we've also had a restaurant EBITDA margin at 20%, which is our highest ever. So if you're able to manage the overall restaurant profitability, then we will continue to expand. And while internally we want to deliver a 5 to 7% same-store sales growth, and therefore coming at flat SSSG disappoints us, when you look at it in the perspective of the entire industry, I think KFC has been just absolutely fantastic.
Hi, Sanjay. Good morning. I don't know what people are talking about slowdown. I'm consuming left, right, and center. But tell us about, a few more aspects about business. The KFC margin, as you said, you were looking at 20%. You've achieved that. Once SSSG starts becoming positive, then what's the outlook out here on the margin front?
Yeah. So as against, say, possibly competition, you've heard us say this, that we want to expand and improve accessibility. So if you look at the other, perhaps burger brand, their expansion is much, much lower than us. And our expansion is significantly higher. So I think restaurant EBITDA margins around 20% is what we are happy with. We'll calibrate our expansion. Therefore, if we see operating leverage, expand a little faster. If you see operating deleverage, expand a little slower. This kind of pace of expansion, but should continue, over the next 3 to 4 years.
All right. Sanjay, in the last 12 to 20 hours, a lot of us are focusing on Sri Lanka. That was the match. And we were happy to come out on top. But I recall one of the reasons that your business was not getting that sort of a multiple was because of the exposure to Sri Lanka. You were telling us in the past, it's now coming out of ICU in the hospital bed. Things are improving out there. So green shoots out there. Will things continue to improve from here on?
Yes. So that's the advantage, Nigel, of a multi-brand restaurant operator platform. And there are times when everything fires, but even if everything doesn't fire, at least 2 out of the things starting to fire is always good. So Sri Lanka, we had called out saying that in calendar year 24 is when we would see a recovery of the economy and therefore our business. I think the economy started to recover right now. Raw material inflation, absolutely stable. In fact, in low single digit, but there is inflation in other parts of the business. For example, utility costs, etc. There's no problem on Forex. Forex has been stable. Actually, the Sri Lankan rupee has appreciated versus the dollar. So from a macro sense, really good. Tourism is absolutely starting to take off in the country. And our business also has started to do well. We launched a really innovative product, what I call an inverted pizza called Melts, individual. So things looking good in Sri Lanka.
Okay,
I think take calendar year 24 for it to fully come back.
Sanjay, actually, if you can, in two words exactly, if you can give us, we're out of time. You said we're recalibrating our expansion plan. So are you cutting down how many stores you will open from what you said earlier? And if so, what is the number?
Yes, we will slow down, but we should, we called out 3 to 4 years doubling. Perhaps today on Pizza Hut, it will be 4 years and not 3 years.
Okay. From 3 to doubling in 4, maybe not 3. That's what you're saying. Thank you very much.
Wait, I have a very important question. Yeah. What is this inverted pizza? I am very keen to know. Is it cheese on the bottom and the sauce on the top? How does it work?
So, Sonia, we've got to go to Sri Lanka and try the product out. It's absolutely sensational.
By the way,
so
guys,
folded, the dough is folded and you've got all your fillings inside. Brilliant product.
Oh. Like a pizza sandwich.
Like
wow.
Wrap, huh? But, guys, we're not even... The biggest talking point globally for restaurant chains, Sanjay, and we're not talking about it here because it's not here, is this new weight loss drug. There are actual estimates saying that, well, because it kills hunger, how many calories are going to go down and how people are going to consume less. I mean, it's the biggest talking point, not just for food companies, restaurant companies, but for beverage companies, etc. as well. So, but companies here, Indian companies have applied to get permission, etc. to get it here.
Are you suggesting we have pizza and then we pop an Ozempic? Okay, we've completely run out of time, but we would love to take this another day. Thanks a lot, Sanjay, for joining in. Really enjoyed that conversation.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you, Prashant. Happy Diwali to all of you, to all your viewers.
We're keeping the consumption strong, I promise you that.
Happy Diwali to you. All right.